Welcome to Extraordinary Adventures. My name is Laura,
I'm Scott.
and we are joined today, or will be joined today, with a guest, Denise Fraind from Avalon Waterways, and she is the Business Development Manager. And she's here to talk to us about what makes Avalon extraordinary.
Yeah,
Am I
it was a
right?
really good chat. She told us a lot about Europe and Asia and Egypt and the Galapagos and the ships themselves and what they offer and the active and discovery and classic tours that are included. She went over a lot of stuff. I think it's really, really going to be informative and it's going to make you want to click that like button and subscribe with the notification bell on.
Ding, 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 ding.
So yeah, I guess
If
really
you
not much to say, right? Oh, go for it.
No, I was just going to say if you are looking to book a cruise, whether it's on
That's a
Avalon
good
or
point.
any other cruise line, please do reach out. We don't charge a fee to book and manage your cruise. Plus, if you do book with us, we offer expert planning advice as well as answer any questions that you might have. So if you are looking to
Plus,
book a cruise, yes,
as
plus,
Denise mentions in the video, we have a special perk for you, but
we
you have to watch
do.
till almost near the end to find out what that
Yeah,
perk is.
that's true.
Teaser. Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. No, that's okay. So, with no further ado, we're gonna give it to Scott and Laura.
Take it away, Scalora. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody!
I'm
Hi.
Scott. That's Laura, and we are from Extraordinary Adventures. We are joined today by Denise Fraind. She's the BDM for Avalon Waterways, as well as other Globus companies. We are here to discuss Avalon and river cruising and how amazing it is and how you should definitely get on an Avalon river cruise as soon as possible. So I guess without further ado, this is not really about us. We just want to jump in and say, hi, Denise.
Hey there. How are you guys doing? Thank you for having me today.
Great.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
Our pleasure. So I guess let's start with just having you tell the folks at home a little bit about who you are. Do you like gambling on the horses? Do you? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So let me see a little bit about myself. You can probably tell from my accent. I am from the Northeast, and I grew up in Pennsylvania, and I am not a cold weather person. So I was working for Amtrak in Philadelphia, and we had the blizzard of '96. And I said, you know what? I have to get out of here. So there was two jobs opening in Florida, and they actually moved me to Florida. And thank you, Amtrak. And then a year later, had a complete reorganization, and then I got the job with Globus. So I have been with Globus since '99. So I am celebrating 24 years with the Globus family of brands in Avalon. Yeah.
Wow.
And let me see a little bit about myself. Love traveling, right? I'm in the industry. I do not have kids, but I have pets. So we have 3 dogs and 3 cats. And we
That's
live
a
on the
lot.
water. It is a lot, but you know what? You would never know they're here. They're like they just sleep all day. And we live on the water, so we are big into jet skiing, boating, all that good stuff. We do not fish. Everybody on our block thinks we're crazy because we live on the water and we don't fish, but we do not fish. We just eat the fish that other people make. So that is a little bit about myself. So love touring, love river cruising. I love any kind of vacations, love the Keys, love it all. So
Cool.
happy to be here.
Yeah, no, you're every time I'm seeing you're somewhere else. It's pretty nice life you got going on there.
Yeah,
Somewhere else
thank
in the
you,
world
Shabby.
today.
I do like concerts. That is a big thing. I'm a big concert person. My birthday was last week, and I took my husband's mom, which is 89. I took my mom,
Wow.
and we went to go see Pat Benatar.
Cool.
Oh, that's
Cool.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so yeah, I am a big concert person. So if you guys ever want to go to a concert, you just let me know.
Let's go. Let's go.
We tried to
Just,
look into this Metallica concert that's happening in like October, but it was out of our price range.
Oh, the tickets are crazy. They're
Oh my
crazy.
God.
They're insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
yeah, yeah,
absolutely insane. There's 8 of us going to Duran in a couple weeks, but we are in the nosebleed section, the cheapy tickets.
yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? I think people are making up for lost time, like travel. It's the same thing with concerts. If you're a music person, you just went how many years without a concert? So now you have to make up for lost time, and I guess they too need to make up their money and lost revenue for touring. So yeah, the tickets are insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
they are.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, concerts
Yeah.
aside, we're here
a
about
concerts
cruising.
aside, yeah,
Yeah.
the concerts on the river cruise, right?
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah. Let's do it.
don't forget though, this is a great opportunity to say like and subscribe with the notification bell on, so you can hear more of these great things. I'm sure we'll have Denise back tell us more about Globus and Avalon in the future. So if you want to be alerted, make sure you like,
Absolutely.
subscribe with the notification bell on.
Yeah.
And then, ladies, I'll just let you know I keep losing sound. So if I ever just smile and nod and I should be saying something, you'll know. Just start talking.
Great.
Okay.
Cool.
We're good at talking, right?
All right. All right. Well, then, Denise,
So,
take it away. It's your show.
yeah.
All right. So we are going to talk a little bit about river cruising, and you guys chime in whenever if you want to ask me any questions or anything like that. So a little bit about river cruising. So in 2004, that's when we kind of got into the river cruise realm. But Avalon is a part of the Globus family of brands. So these are the 3 brands that are a part of the Globus family of brands. So some of you may be familiar with Globus. Maybe you've taken a Globus tour. I need to update that. We actually just celebrated 95 years. So 95 years with Globus. These are completely escorted tours. And then Cosmos are also escorted tours, little bit more on the budget side. So in 2004, that is when we created Avalon Waterways because we started seeing that river cruising was starting to become a little bit more popular. So we started selling into somebody else's inventory and it was selling out. So they went, you know what? Let's just start building ships. So fast forward now, we're on we're on a lot of rivers. I'll show you the map of where all we go. And we're a pretty big player in the river cruise world. So you all probably are familiar with river cruising now just because of all these river cruise companies out there. You see a lot of commercials now. So what I'm going to try to do is just kind of show you what Avalon has to offer and why you should pick Avalon versus all these other river cruise companies out there. We're like Big Ship Cruising. We all do our own little thing, and I hope you just choose us to be to be the one to go on a river cruise with, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do we go? Right. So this is where we go in Europe, but you'll see some slides down here that we go through the presentation. You'll see we also do have exotics. So we do have Vietnam, Cambodia, we have the Mekong, we have the Peruvian Amazon, we have Galapagos, we have Egypt. But for Europe, this is where we cruise Europe. So just kind of looking at the map here, up at the top, those are we call them our tulip time cruises. It's Holland and Belgium. But we have a lot of Holland and Belgium, not just tulip time. So if you could care less about tulips and you don't want to go when it's cooler weather, we have Holland and Belgium during the year, during the summer. And then we have beer themed cruises, which are super popular. And, because of all the Belgian beer and the craft beer. So those cruises, like I said, they go all year. I think we have about 5 different itineraries that do Holland and Belgium.
Nice.
If you look at the left-hand side there, those are your France river cruises. My all-time favorite is Normandy's landing beaches. You learn all about Van Gogh, and then you learn about Monet. You go to Monet's garden. So it's art and history. You learn all about Joan of Arc, and then you go up to the landing beaches, and you go to the American Cemetery. They play taps. They give everybody a rose to put on a grave, and it is a incredible itinerary. One of my favorites.
Sounds like it.
It's amazing. And then south of that is Burgundy and Provence. You can do a 2-week river cruise and do both of them and just hop from ship to ship. So then if you look in the middle there where Switzerland is, that is your Rhine. That's your Rhine Gorge you'll see there in the middle. It's kind of hard to see, but the Rhine Gorge is where there are castles on the right, castles on the left. It's this one section of the Rhine. But what you'll see there at the top, you'll see Koblenz. That's where the Rhine splits. So you can see the Rhine Gorge is in green up there. But at Koblenz is where the Rhine and the Moselle meet. And then you come down towards Luxembourg. So that is just the Moselle. So we have cruises that do the Rhine and the Moselle, or either or. And then all the way down to Romania and Bulgaria. Those are all of your Danube cruises going all the way down. We have some that go from Budapest to Bucharest. We have some that just do different sections of the Danube. I did the lower Danube in April of last year. It was amazing. So I did from Budapest, where you see in green there, where Hungary is, and I went down to Bucharest, and I did Transylvania. So we went to Dracula's Castle. That was
Nice.
it was an incredible itinerary. That was the last river that I didn't do, and I wish I would have done it years ago. It was incredible. It's the kind of like exotic Europe, right? Because you're doing Croatia, you're doing Serbia, you're doing Bulgaria, you're doing Romania, and it was an incredible river cruise
Yeah.
with all the history.
That sounds
So
amazing.
then,
Can I ask you a
it was
question?
incredible. Yeah, you sure
Tulip
can.
season, March, am I right? Tulip season?
Yes, tulip time up there where Holland and Belgium is. That's March and April.
Okay, good.
It can get a little chilly. I have been there when it's been warm. I've been there when it was the coldest I've ever been. But if you want to see the tulips, you kind of want it to be cold. And it is
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful because you go to Kuchenhof, the gardens, and you're there for most of the day. But a lot of people, like I said, don't really care if they see the tulips, but they still want to do Holland and Belgium.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
By cold, you mean Florida cold, 60, 65, right?
Yeah, no, I have to tell you, I did, I was telling you, I did that lower Danube in April. And I am a baby, right? I live
Yeah.
in Florida. I
Yeah.
am a baby, and I've always been. And I went with 7 of my girlfriends, and we did the lower Danube. And some of them are from Pennsylvania, where I'm originally from. So I'm texting them the day before, and I'm like, guys, it's going to be cold, like 30s. Like, are you guys bringing your coats and your hats? And
Oh.
they're like, no. So thank God they all listened to me, and they all brought hats, their poofer coats, because after the second day, they're like, "Oh man, it's pretty cold." But it didn't stop us from doing anything, right?
Yeah,
And
of course not.
it's
Right.
nice because it's not as busy, right, when you're there in March or April. So it was really nice. But I was fully prepared for the
Yeah,
cold.
we're big proponents of shoulder season, whether that's spring or fall. Much
Right.
less crowded. You don't have to
Oh,
deal with
yeah.
heat. And you
Exactly.
get from this old world country area, there are no air conditions. So if you're going in the middle of summer, you're gonna be sweating your what's off. So
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I remember being in Vienna and it was 100 degrees and I was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
like shoulder
I
season.
sometimes travel in the summer because one of my friends, she's a teacher. So we have to time it around her schedule. But yeah, no, I travel a lot in the fall and it's beautiful to go. I did the Danube in 2019 and I was there, I think it was the end of October, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And the leaves were changing and the air was crisp and it was nice. It was very
I like going
Yeah.
also on the shoulder season, not only just for the weather, but there's just less people there.
Right.
And so you have a more private experience, more exclusive experience, I feel.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just in Ireland a couple weeks ago, and I mean, I know it's going to be cool, but it's empty. You know, the airport's empty, the cities are empty. So I was up at Giant's Causeway, and I went to the Titanic Museum, and there was nobody there.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So, are you ready for the new news?
Yeah.
Ah,
So this is our new one for 2024.
Douro.
This is on the Alegria, and it's the Douro. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
Portugal. So
Yeah.
we have been open for sale for a while with this. If you're interested in this, please get with Laura and Scott because we're already 70% full for next year.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah.
not even, you can't even sail on it yet. So it won't be ready until 2024. What's different about this one, it only has 100 passengers on board, but Portugal is very popular right now. And, a lot of people have been river cruising for a while and they've done, the Rhine, the Danube in France, and they're running out of rivers. So Portugal is new for us for the river, brand new ship. So we will have the newest ship out there, and again, only 100 passengers on board. So it's Porto to Porto, but you can do a Lisbon extension, which is a 3-night extension
Okay.
before the cruise starts. So
Cool.
this just kind of is a rendition here. Just shows you the difference. So normally on Avalon for Europe, we either have 126 or 166 passengers. And this one only has 102 passengers. So it's nice. So it's a 3-to-1 guest crew ratio. And it's tailor made for the Douro because that's, like I said, we needed a smaller ship for that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. All right. So I'm going to
Yeah.
take you guys on board.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll look at a couple things on board Avalon for those of you that maybe haven't been on a river cruise, what to expect. Or for those of you that have been on maybe one of our competitors, just show you just a couple of our differences. So when you get on board, this just shows you the main lounge that we have here up at the top. So I mentioned we either have 126 or 166 passengers on board. That is a key difference. Some of our competitors have 190 people on board. So that is a big difference. These ships can only be so long and can only be so wide because of the locks that they go through. So it's nice. So all 166 or 126 people can fit in the lounge. We have a dance floor. We have a keyboard. We have local entertainment that comes on board. There are our concerts, right? So they come on board in the evening. If we don't have entertainment coming on, then we have a night where we'll have karaoke, we'll have a trivia night. So bottom right is also the main lounge. So that's kind of like where you see that couple with the bartender.
Yeah.
Back there is where we have our light dinner set up, and we also have our light lunch set up. So we always have, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the dining room. But if you don't want to sit there for a little bit, for 2 hours or whatever, and you just want to go have maybe soup and salad or something light, we have that whole back area set up during lunch and dinner that you can go back there. And it's very similar to what's on the menu in the dining room. The bottom left-hand side. Oh, Laura, did you have a question?
No, I
I
think
think
there
I
was just a little bit of echo that came in. We're good.
Oh, okay. The bottom left-hand side is our club lounge. That is on all of our ships. It is my favorite part of the ship. And why we do this in the back of the ship. So it's kind of interesting when you see other river cruise companies, we all are configured differently. Some of our competitors, they have a pool in the back. Some of them have their most expensive cabins in the back. So what we do on the back of all of our ships is we have a club lounge. And the reason we have it back there is because that's where like the thrusters are of the ship. So that's where the vibration is. So we don't have any cabins back there. But back there is where we have our really kick butt cappuccino maker that has cappuccino, hot milk for the hot chocolate, the lattes. And then there is a second machine in the main lounge. It's funny, I was just on a big ship cruise a couple weeks ago, and they had the same cappuccino maker, and I went, oh. It's just the little things that make us happy, right? Just the little things.
Exactly.
So yeah, I always like my cabin to be like right there, right by the club lounge, right there. It's
There you
funny
go.
because I was on last year, and my cabin was 2 cabins down from the club lounge. And I never thought about this. So next to us was a cabin with 2 gentlemen, and they said, this is where we always put our cabin because we have an extra bathroom now, because there's a bathroom right by the club lounge. So he
Yeah.
said, so I just go and use that bathroom.
Smart.
I'm like, I never thought about
That's
that.
smart.
But
Every
Yeah.
time we go on a cruise, I pick our stateroom to make sure there's another bathroom next to.
Bathroom.
We sure do.
Yeah.
I
You
sure
know what?
do.
It's funny. All the cruises I've been on, I just never even thought about it. And I'm like, oh, that's such a great idea. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, it's great. So, if one's taking a shower, you can pop on over and use the other bathroom. So, yeah, so this club lounge is on the back of all of our ships. It's really nice.
If you're paying attention at home, you've just been given 2 tips that you would not have gotten anywhere else except at Extraordinary Adventures and everywhere else she talks. But only at Extraordinary Adventures. Make sure you're near the
We'll talk
coffee
about
machine and make sure you
bathrooms.
get a second bathroom.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. So, I was, so these are the locks. And, we were talking about the size of the ships and how many people on board. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. These ships can only be so long and they can
Yeah.
only be so wide. So if you have 190 people shoved in a ship like this, it's pretty jammed packed. But what you'll see is in 2011, we came out with the Panorama ship. And that's when we changed the design of our cabins. So now all of our ships have the same design. So what you'll see is, you do have cabins on the bottom. Those are 172 square feet with a window. But everything above that is this drawing here on the right hand side.
Okay.
The cabins are 200 square feet with the beds facing out. So the wall behind the bed is on a little bit of an angle. So what that did is it opened up the bathroom. And what you'll see in that little shaded area, that's our competition. They have a balcony there, and if you have a balcony, it has to take from your cabin because the ships can only be so wide.
Right.
So that's why we designed these without a balcony to go out, because river cruising is not like big ship. You don't have days at sea. So really you should be up on the top deck enjoying the scenery, main lounge where you have windows on both sides, or you have that club lounge that's in the back.
Right. Because if you opened up your balcony through that lock, you'd be looking at a wall. I mean, there's no reason to have a balcony.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and the cabins are beautiful. But honestly, you're really not in them that much. And really, the best part to be is up on that top deck. And we have shaded areas up on the top deck, so you're not in the direct sun. But these are 80% of our cabins look just like this. 200 square feet, beds facing out. You have your sofa, your chair. Beds are a little bit high, so you can put your suitcases underneath there. The closets are very large. I've traveled with, my girlfriend, so beds are separated. Closets are big. We took all of our stuff out. Everything can hang, go in the drawers. There's a refrigerator in all the cabins, and you've got your flat screen TV, and we also have USB outlets in there, and we have sound dampening walls so you can't hear the person next to you, which is nice. And there's your bathroom. And it has a shower door, not a shower curtain. I was just on a cruise 2 weeks ago and I had a shower curtain, not Avalon.
Yeah.
So the bathrooms are beautiful. And I still have yet to figure out how to pack without a checked bag. So I bring way too much stuff, and you will see there is plenty of room on the counter, and there's plenty of room. There's a shelf up there. There's actually shelving underneath. So there is plenty of room for us girls with all the stuff that we bring to spread it out, in the bathroom. We do use L'Occitane products, which you'll see there in the picture also.
I will say, much to Laura's credit, now when she goes on a cruise, she does not do this. She brings all the bags you're referring to. We did England for 2 weeks and Germany for 3. We did it out of a backpack.
Oh,
Out of a backpack.
you need to give me some lessons.
It was a
because
very, very heavy backpack. But
It was
Yeah,
actually
right.
Yes. Yes.
I am not good. I just cannot do it. I bring like all my best stuff, but I do know some women bring two suitcases and one has like all their shoes in. But I'm not that bad.
Can I bother you on that last slide again? I saw in the shower you've got your poop bar, right? So you don't fall. Which
Right.
brings to mind, handicap accessible. Are they? Do you have special rooms? What's
No,
up
we
with that?
don't.
Okay.
So if somebody is in a wheelchair, because I have traveled before where somebody was on board with a wheelchair. So if somebody has a wheelchair, it's okay, but just as long as the person can go up and down stairs. If they are confined to a wheelchair, there may be days that they can't get off.
Okay.
The halls are big enough for a wheelchair. We do have elevators that go between the cabins, but the elevator does not go all the way to the top deck.
Okay.
So the problem is when Avalon or any other river cruise docks, if there is another company that's next to them, not Avalon, because Avalon, all the cabins or all the ships are pretty much configured the same. But if we're next to another river cruise company, your client might have to go up and over to get off the ship.
Gotcha.
So if
Okay.
somebody's in a wheelchair and the person's traveling with them can collapse the wheelchair, get it off, get it back on. Also, there are tours involved, and the motor coaches do not have lifts.
Okay.
So they would have to go up and down stairs.
Better to know in advance. So I'm
Yes.
happy and thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I
it
mean,
can be done. Like I said, the gentleman that was on with me, he had polio and he could walk a little bit, I never knew if he was on or not on. The only way I knew is if I saw his wheelchair.
Okay. Cool.
So
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So it's possible, right? So these are just a couple pictures of the cabins. So we'll talk a little bit about the food. How's that? So what to expect
Okay.
when you're on Avalon? So the way the meals work is we have an early riser breakfast, then we have a buffet breakfast. We do have a continental breakfast if somebody wants room service, that's included in the price. So for lunch, it's either order from the menu or the buffet, or we have that light lunch that's set up in the main lounge. Dinner is open seating from 7 to 8:30, and beer, wine, refreshments are included for lunch. Beer, wine, refreshments are included for dinner. And then we have happy hour an hour before dinner or an hour after, but it's included. That's one thing that we changed with Avalon in 2023, that happy hour is included. So that's nice.
Nice.
Now,
Yeah.
I can't forget the mimosas in the morning, so you can have mimosas.
I love that you guys have that light thing because
Yeah,
depending on your age and depending on your speed, you may get up and go, 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 and you don't really want to have long. Like you want to get something to go and get right because you're in Europe, or
yeah,
you're in Asia. Like you don't want to be wasting time sitting around. Or
yeah.
you could have been there 20 times and you want to have a leisurely whatever. So I like that you're giving the options for the type of passenger you have.
Right. And I know with me, I get there and I'm all gung ho with eating. And then by the third day, I'm like, oh man, I just ate way too much.
yeah.
So I just want to, I just want to go get something light. The last cruise I was on, I did that quite a bit. I went to the main lounge and just ate something light because I tend to overdo it for a couple days. And then I'm like, okay, all right, I need to tone it down a little bit, right? My eyes were bigger than my stomach, right? So yeah, no, it's nice because you have that chance or that opportunity. We also on the top deck, depending on the weather and we're docked, we have a cookout outside.
Nice.
It's an open air bistro. So yeah, so we
Nice,
also
nice,
do
nice.
that. Yeah, and don't forget if you're on a river cruise and you're on Avalon and really any river cruise company, we do not confiscate your alcohol when you bring it on board. So let's say you are on the Rhine and you're in Rudesheim and there's great wine there and you want to buy a bottle, or you're in Burgundy and Provence or beer in Holland and Belgium, you can bring it on board.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
See what's in the bottom left?
Your cappuccino machine.
Cappuccino machine. Yes. And then you see the picture where the bar is. See what's to the left of it? It's the cappuccino machine. You could tell I'm more into the cappuccino than the bar, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love my cappuccinos and my lattes. So that's the club lounge in the bottom left. So that's on all of the ships, and that's where your cookies and your snacks are. And then the dining room, like I said, it's open seating from 7 to 8:30. And then that's a picture there on the top in the middle where the light dinner is in the back of the main lounge. And then you'll see on the top right, that's where they took half the lounge and they set that up for dinner. So it's really nice. I like it back there. It's it's nice and quiet. And also the bar, we have special drinks for Avalon that somebody totally designed. So there's some pretty cool drinks, and they have a special every day too.
I love that all your slides showing the ship itself, they all feel well appointed, elegant, luxury, but they also feel very comfortable. I didn't see anything that felt too posh and snobby. I felt
No,
like
and you know what's nice? Kind of back to, sorry to go back here,
oh, you're
but
fine.
back to like this lounge.
Yeah,
It's open. I haven't sailed on other river cruise companies, but I've cut through to get off, and some of them have a lot of walls. And one thing about Avalon, you'll see it's that whole floor to ceiling window concept, no matter where
yeah,
you are. You have your main lounge, that bottom left hand side, that's the club lounge. So you have that whole feel
yeah. It's
throughout the
beautiful.
ship.
It
I
is
love what I'm
beautiful.
saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then entertainment. So we have local entertainers that come on board. We have a keyboard player that plays at night, and again, trivia night or karaoke one night. So, we try to have different events during the
But
evening.
you're often late in port anyway, right?
It really depends.
Okay.
You'll know. When your clients go to book Avalon, it says there docked overnight, cruising at night.
Okay.
So it really depends what river. Some of them, yeah, you're docked at night, and some of them they're cruising at night.
Okay.
And then this is I should have had this slide a few back, but this is the Avalon Fresh. This is something that we realized, you have a lot of people that are either eating healthy or they're gluten free, they're allergic to things. So we had these two brothers, they're the Rank brothers, and they have a vegan restaurant in Vienna. And they helped us with our menu, and this is on our menu for lunch and dinner. There's, one, two items that are labeled Avalon Fresh. So when you cruise on Avalon, if you do have a food allergy, they have a little meeting the first day. Chef comes and you tell them, I can't have salt, or I'm celiac or diabetic, and they actually take your picture and they put it in the kitchen. So
Wow.
they can kind of keep track, and the chef will come out and say, all right, you can't have this, but I can do this. And they do a really nice job.
I'm allergic to small portions.
I know, right? I know. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I love it. I love it. And we kind of talked about this too with the multiple menus and venues. This is one thing that I really think is the key difference with Avalon. I mean, all those other ones, we have larger cabins, less people on board. This here, we have three different types of excursions that are included in the price, and they're labeled. It's active, which is active, biking, hiking, canoeing, discovery. These are experiences. I say, off the beaten path kind of excursions. And then classic, which are just like your walking tours, canal cruise in Amsterdam. So some days there are four different excursions to pick from, all included in the price. What some river cruise companies do is they give one excursion and then everything else is additional.
Right.
Now, Avalon, it's funny, I was doing a webinar last night and I said, we're not all inclusive, but the travel advisor was like, yeah, but you guys kind of are. So we are. You can make the river cruise what you want it to be. When I go, my bill is probably $6 when I get done. But we do have maybe one, two, three optionals, which are additional in price if you want to do them. I usually don't because my day is so full doing all this other stuff, but it's there if you want to add it. So we're pretty much all inclusive. It's just that there are some optionals, like maybe a Mozart concert or a folklore show, something like that you
Right.
can always choose.
Now, if aside from those, if they're short, can you do back to back? Are they unlimited, or is it just not
No,
enough
it's,
time in
it's
the day?
usually there's not enough time in the day. It's
Okay,
usually either or.
gotcha,
Yeah, but there's usually 2 excursions a day.
gotcha.
So it's usually either or in the morning, cruise during lunch, and then either or later.
Okay.
Sometimes there might only be one. It just really depends where you are.
Because Laura and I, we
Um,
always suggest to our clients to slow down, breathe, take it easy, enjoy it, and then we do the exact opposite. We go, 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 go.
We do.
I know, I know. I was just having this conversation before. I was on another cruise line about 2 weeks ago, and it was great because we were in port a long time, and we went and did our thing and came back, and there were no sea days, and I like no sea days because I like to stay busy.
Yeah,
But that's me. I don't go on vacation to relax. I just
see
figure
the
I'll do
world.
that when,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'll do that when I'm, kicking it, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, bikes. So we do have bikes on board, and we also have 2 e-bikes on board. We also have an adventure host that's on all of our ships, and he or she does the bike rides, the yoga classes, and they also have a little adventure center that you can go get binoculars, walking sticks, all that good stuff. We do have bike excursions. The big ones, we either take you to the bike shop or the bike shop comes to you with the bikes. But we do have maybe a small bike excursion where the adventure host will go with you and go on a bike ride with you. And that's one thing about these rivers. The cycling is very popular because all of these trails that are all along the river. So it's you could hop on a bike and meet the ship further down because we really don't go that far from distance to distance. So you can choose to do that.
That top right photo, I so want to be there right now.
I
Oh, I
know,
know.
I
So
know.
want to be there right now.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because I when we first came out with these active and discovery cruises, because right now every river has an active and discovery cruise, which has more of the active and discovery excursions. So the first one I went on, I knew I would be riding my bike. So it's funny, my husband's mom is 89 and she was a cyclist, and she said this picture that you see here is exactly what got her hooked on cycling
Yeah.
was the Danube and cycling along the Danube. So she gave me her bike shorts, and I did the bike ride of Vienna. I did a 12-mile bike ride along the Danube. It was
Nice.
absolutely yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous.
The bikes, are they first come, first served? Do you have to reserve them in advance? How does that work?
Yeah, they're first come, first serve, but you do need to reserve them. So I think we have about like 12 or 14 now. So you do need to sign them out.
Okay.
Yep. But the bike excursions that we have, those, if any of you watching and you book Avalon and there's a bike excursion and that's something you really want to do, sign up for it early because they do run out of bikes with these bike shops
Okay.
because they don't have enough for 160 some people,
Right.
right? So this is something that Avalon has that not many river cruise companies have out there. These are short and sweet river cruises. These are 3-night, 4-night, 5-night river cruises. So maybe you're doing a big ship cruise, or you're doing a land tour, you're visiting family, or you just want to experience a river cruise, but you're not sure if you'd like it or the price point's too high. This way you can check out a shorter one and then you can do land on either side. So these are very popular, these short river cruises.
Yeah.
And then these are your themed cruises. Your pick and pack your passions, your special interest cruises. I mentioned before the beer cruise, like your Holland and Belgium. We have Christmas market cruises, culinary, garden nature. That's also your tulip time. We have a history cruise, which I think it's this year. It's the Habsburg royalty. It's a family member that's on this history cruise. Jewish heritage, photography, wine theme, and bites, brews, and views of Belgium. So these
Awesome.
are, yeah, these are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the only time I will ever go in winter. I'm going to go for a back-to-back with a Christmas markets cruise. Then I'm going to stay and go over to Scotland for Hogmanay, and then I'm never going in the winter to Europe again. I have to get those two done. I'm going to do them all together at one shot, and then I'll go
Yeah.
back to my shoulder seasons.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I did Christmas markets and I lucked out because it was, I think it was probably about 7 years ago. And it was when the Northeast was even having a mild Christmas. So it was like the week before Christmas and it was in the 60s. I went, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I have pictures of me at the Christmas markets at night with just like a sweater on.
That's amazing.
So this is, yeah, it was great. So this is something new here on the bottom. So
Yeah.
we have the Storyteller series, and Diana Gabaldon, she's on a cruise in April, but it's sold out. She is the author of Outlander. So Graham McTavish, you might recognize him. He does that Men with Kilts. I think it's on Netflix. He also he's on Outlander, and he also is with us. So he does our commercial for Avalon, and he is on our Storyteller series, and it's the Rhine. It's the Active and Discovery on the Rhine, and it's October 12th to the 18th, and there's still availability.
Now, if you want to see the video that she's talking about, you can go to our Facebook page. And I just made a Facebook post about this about a week ago. And you'll see the whole
Oh, did
video.
you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so hopefully the next one, if any of you out there watch Outlander, his nephew Jamie, which is on Outlander, I would love it for him to cruise with us because I would definitely be on that cruise. So we talked a lot about this. If you're not familiar with river cruising and you haven't been on one, you'll see most of the rivers, all the towns are right along the river. Some of them, like Holland and Belgium, you might have to motor coach to some places like Keukenhof or the Douro. You have to motor coach to some of the areas, but you get to see the countryside. But you'll see here most of the towns are built all along the river because this is how transportation took place.
Absolutely.
So you dock, you get off, and you're right there. You have walking tours with the guides. We have different excursions, which we talked about. We have Wi-Fi on the ship, and we also have headsets for the walking tours. So I'm just going to quick go through some of these itineraries that we have. This is one of our most popular ones. It's Magnificent Europe. So it includes the Rhine, the Main, the Danube, and then these are all the countries that you hit. You hit Holland, Germany, Austria, and Hungary.
That's awesome.
That's an amazing
Yeah.
itinerary. Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah. And of course, the Parliament there on the top right-hand side there in Budapest. This is the Rhine and Moselle. This is what I was talking about before. You have your Rhine Gorge. You'll see there where it says Koblenz. It's right under that. That's the section with all the castles that you go through. And Koblenz, that is where the river splits. And that's where they converge, and Moselle goes to Luxembourg. The Moselle River is noted for all the slopes, the vineyards that are on all these slopes. It's absolutely beautiful. Every river, the scenery is completely different. The Rhine is the castles, and Moselle is wine, and same thing with the Douro. It's all these vineyards that are along the river.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Best wine we've ever drank in our life. And the wine itself may not have been very good. We were sitting in Kokum, under the Kokum Castle, drinking some sweet white wine. I still remember that day. That was such a nice
It was
day.
a great day. It really was.
It was a
Yeah.
nice
Oh, nice. I know. I remember my very first river cruise. I had one of those days where I went, oh, I'm having one of those moments. I was sitting up on the top deck, and it was absolutely beautiful. There was nobody up there. We're just kind of sailing along the river. Sorry, I probably had FedEx come to my door or something. So I have my dog barking.
Oh.
This is the new world that we're in, right? When we're doing these virtual events, right?
Right.
So this is the German Grandeur. This is from Nuremberg to Basel. So this one does Germany, France, and Switzerland.
Love that.
So you'll see also all of these towns all along the river.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the Active and Discovery on the Rhone. So again, all of our rivers have a Active and Discovery cruise. So they have some more Active and Discovery excursions. And what's nice about these Active and Discovery cruises is they cruise more during the day, even though it's active. So I find that they're actually more leisurely because you're not cruising at night and you're cruising during the day. So definitely look at these when you're looking at, let's say, Burgundy and Provence. I would look at an active one and our classic, which isn't the Active and Discovery. So this is Active and Discovery on the Seine. This is very similar to our Normandy's landing beaches. And again, just a little bit more with the Active and Discovery excursions.
Awesome.
And we talked about Holland and Belgium. Oh, the waffles and the flowers and the
We'll be
canals.
there
It's
in March, next March.
We will.
Oh, you're doing the River Cruise Summit.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Oh, you're gonna love it.
Very
Oh, you're
excited.
gonna love it.
Very
Yes, that'll be nice. So I'll just quick go through some of these. The Danube Dreams. This is the new one that we recently added. This is the Active and Discovery from Croatia to the Black Sea. I did Budapest to Bucharest, and then I did Transylvania as the extension. This here on the top is Krka National Park, which is in Croatia. I did this just a couple weeks ago. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like a mini Niagara Falls. So just to show you a little bit of the exotics, this is the Taste of Egypt. We do a 4-night cruise in Egypt. And what's nice about this is we don't backtrack and do 7 nights. So the price is like half of our competitors. And we stay at the Mina Hotel, which you see up, you see here on the top, in the middle. The hotel is like right there. So it's one of the only hotels that's right by the pyramids. And I did this probably about 13 years ago. And I remember we got to the hotel pretty late and I opened up the curtain. I went, oh, we are not at the Luxor in Las Vegas. Like, we are in Egypt, and it's like a laser light show that's on the side of the pyramids, and it's all lit up. So we do a really nice job for Egypt. Yeah. This one is not our ship. This is a cabin in the top left. They're absolutely beautiful, but we don't have our own ship for Egypt, so we book into another company.
Okay.
This here is the Galapagos, and we offer Galapagos with Globus. You can do a cruise, or you can stay on one of the Galapagos Islands, the Santa Cruz Island, and cruise out every day. Or this one here with Avalon is a yacht, and it holds only 16 passengers on board.
16 passengers? Is that what you just said?
16, yes. I know, wouldn't that be fun, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this is our ship. This is Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Mekong. So fairly newer ship. It was built in 2018. What we're finding is, people haven't been able to travel for a couple years, and us travelers, we're like, we got to make up for lost time. So this is selling quite well because people are hitting their bucket list destinations. This only holds 36 people. Wow. Cabins are 245 square feet. Some are 300 square feet with the beds facing out.
This is one of my bucket list. I really want to go on this one.
Oh, yes. Ganges River, we have one more cruise that's available this year, but we are not operating it this year. So I actually need to take this out of our inventory. And then there is Christmas markets.
There it is.
So we have Christmas markets for the Danube. We have Christmas markets for the Rhine. So we have some really nice Christmas markets.
So funny how I really, really want to go, and we never decorate the house. We don't do anything at home.
No.
But I really
I know,
want to go
but that's why, right? That's why. It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, the markets are, it's basically the markets are for the locals to Christmas shop. So it's not like trinkets like what we would really want, but the markets are absolutely beautiful, and it's just, it's all decorated. Nuremberg has like the best Christmas market. It's absolutely beautiful. So it just kind of shows you first timers, perfect for the Rhine or the Danube, with all the castles and the scenery. I was talking about the Moselle. This is this famous bend in the river with all the vineyards on the slopes. Culinary, the Rhone. Normandy's landing beaches, for Normandy is absolutely, again, that was my favorite one. That was an amazing river cruise. And tulip time. So about 45 days prior to departure, you'll get an email saying time to download your app. Well, actually the app is about 2 weeks prior, but about 45 days prior, you'll get a reminder, if you want to book any excursions. And then the app, you go on your phone, you download the app, you put in your invoice number, and up pops all of your documents. And it's a pretty good app. We have travel journal, expense calculator. You can share on social media. Augmented reality navigation. What that is you can hold your phone up to like a statue or a building and it tells you what you're looking at.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
cool.
good. And then it has your flights and if it's delayed and all that good stuff.
That's cool.
So we do have some promotions going on right now for 23 and 24. We do still have availability for this year and we're open for next year. So we have a lot of promotions. We have if the sailing is almost full, then we might only have a $250 off, $250 or $500 off, but we do have some sailings that are $599 air plus money off. And one big promotion that we have for this year and next year are waived single supplements.
That's huge.
Yeah, so if you travel as a single, we don't ding you for a double, and it saves a lot of money. If you take the waived single, you can't get, the $599 air or another promotion.
Right.
And
You're saving a ton of money. So, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's such a good savings.
Yeah.
And because of who you two are, you also get to offer your clients a free night. And that is a free pre or post if you book an Avalon cruise of 6 nights or more. And that's valid for 2023 and 2024.
You see how giving we are?
You guys are good. You guys are good. You guys are good. Yeah, I mean, is there anything else that you're thinking that I need to mention? But that's, I got you on board. You guys kind of saw the way the ship is and just some of the differences between Avalon and our competitors with the larger cabins, less people on board, all the excursions, and then the new one, the Doro. That's a biggie.
Yeah, for your onboard experience, it's so important. And a lot of folks don't think of that, the space to guest ratio and the crew to guest ratio and how that can very much change your experience. So to hear that you have fewer guests and larger spaces, and it's going to make for a much better cruise. That's all. I don't want to knock any of your competitors either, but that's going to make for a nicer cruise experience.
Especially in
Exactly. I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, especially in the post-COVID world where people just want more space, So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, not slamming any competitors. We all do a wonderful job. Everybody's great, but everybody's just a little bit different than the other crews, and it's just nice to show what makes us all different.
Yeah. And if you're watching at home and you're youngish, not young, but youngish, like us, it's not all fuddy-duddies with wheelchairs going on these things. This is really exciting. If you're 35, 45, 55, you would have a really, really good time. So I don't want to, dive too far into the demographics of it, but you will have a great time on a river cruise.
Definitely.
It's not the days of old.
No, definitely. It's getting younger and younger. And I was on one where, those active and discovery cruises, they're perfect for multi-gen. Yeah. Perfect. Grandparents, parents, kids. We do take children 6 and over, but honestly, from 6 to teen, I wouldn't recommend it. But, if they're very, we don't have kid activities, right? But if it's an active and discovery teenagers, it's perfect. This woman had her 2 teenage daughters, and she said they still talk about their vacation.
Right.
It's just for kids. There's not much going on, so they might be a little bit bored. But hey, if they're mature, they may love a river cruise.
Now, remember, you're also in port a lot, so it's yes, you're taking a river cruise, but really you're in Europe. So it's like doing a family vacation where the hotel moves with you instead. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea because then you don't, if you have young kids, you don't have to worry about packing and unpacking and moving them. Like it just, you go with it. You
Yeah.
float along the river.
And they're whining and crying and all the rest of that. You don't have to. You only deal with that once and not 10 times.
Exactly. Exactly. But thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
No,
And
it's great.
if you guys have any questions or you think of anything else that we need to talk about, just let me know.
Yeah. I would love to have you come back on later and do a little bit more deep dive about your wine specialty cruises. I don't know if you know,
Yeah, we can do that.
I'm a sommelier. I'm a level one, not like but I would love to
Oh.
talk more about those in depth. Yeah,
Yes, and I could actually get the wine menu too, and we can take a look at
that'd be
that.
great.
Nice. That'll be good.
Great.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do the beer and the wine. How's that,
Perfect.
Scott? Right.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. You're right. You nailed me. I do like the beer. I like wine, but Laura, I don't know. She's on a different plane, and whatever she tells me I like is what I like.
Exactly. There
It's
you
pretty
go. There you
accurate. I
go.
usually
But yeah,
pick correctly for you.
Yeah.
that's funny. Yeah, and they have some great wine, that's for sure. Great champagne, great wine. So yeah, we'll definitely do
Yeah.
that. Just let me know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
No, this has been great. We appreciate you coming on
yeah.
and,
You
and
bet.
helping out with this because, there's so many options like you're talking about. And just to highlight what's great about Avalon, I don't know. I think it's very valuable for folks to hear it from you. So
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and thank you for having me. And sorry for my crazy chihuahua in the
oh
background.
no, I have my dog sleeping. I don't know if you can hear him snoring back there, but he's snoring. So we're good.
Oh, that's so funny. You know what it is? It's 5 o'clock our time, and they know it's dinner time, right?
Exactly.
Well, everyone, if you are looking to book a cruise, please do reach out to us. We would love to help you plan your next extraordinary adventure.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Denise.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Bye for now,
Bye.
guys.